Win-win, man.
Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchased just by showing your winning team's colours.
Or your team membership.
At any pancake parlour.
Welcome back to Domini Reserve. Park Orchards leading this encounter versus the Basin. 10-5-65 to the Basin, 4-2-26. Third quarter is underway. 39-point lead. Brett Davidson, special comments. Any hope for the Basin?
Well, there's always hope because it's only half-time. You've not won a game at half-time, but they need to really improve just their systems at the moment. They're just not working the ball out of the middle with any confidence, whereas they're running very well, Park Orchards, at the moment.
So Wiggins worked it to Prozanak, who tried to work it to half-back before they could go forward. Just missed that target out wide, and the ball's just dribbled out of bounds, out of side of Domini Reserve. Beautiful scenery here at Park Orchards. Tree-lined oval. The Dandenongs in the background. And it's getting darker, so the atmosphere is fantastic. But hopefully they might turn the lights on in the second half. We need, like at Coldstream, people turning their car lights on. So it's early third term. 65 plays 26. It's at half forward for the Basin on the outer side. Ball up. Rucks go at it. Uncontested for Finlay. Wins the tap down to Adams. Adams tries to burst through a tackle and he picks up his own ball, but he can't get a kick away under the congestion there. So turnover and shoes, but there's a brick wall for the Basin at half forward that holds up the Park Orchards leaving the area, and the umpire will have to intervene again for a ball up. Pretty much similar to it was only 30 seconds ago. So just that paints the picture of how hard it is getting a kick to clear the congestion. Maybe this runner can open it up for the Basin. Hands it out to Bell. Bell puts a high up and under into the forward mark. Nearly marked there for the Basin. The roving effort by Bell, and he's taken over the line in the pocket. So it's a boundary throw in 30 metres around from the Basin's goal. Only really one kick that went anywhere, but most of it was straight up in the air.
Good intensity by the Basin. They're getting numbers around the ball, and they've obviously got them on their mind to get some early goals in this quarter as they need to. As the ball comes in, there's the big man. He has been good today too, Andrew Batty, but it falls for Park Orchards. They kick it down the line, but it's going to come back, you would think. No, in fact, it's out of bounds.
That's an effective kick then from Folks, because that's got them a good 50 metres. But that's the other thing, is that Basin seem to like this, you know, the ball in tight the whole time, so they've got to get it out and keep running if they can.
So there's the throw in coming over the top. It was a good head out as well, won well by Minogue. Yeah, but it's the Basin who get the ball forward, and the opportunity now for them is they can get this ball out into the clear. They've got a real opportunity. Nice overlap there by Max Kruger. Kruger kicks a bit of a scrubber along the ground, but it's bobbling around and not tidied up at all there by Debney. He's played pretty well, Debney, but not on that occasion. The skipper, Folks, gets the ball down the line. And a mark is taken, but it's going to come back for the Basin. They've started well here in this quarter as the kick goes into the centre of the ground, but cut off once again. Plenty of those today as the ball comes out wide. It's taken by Matthew Williamson, 1 goal to his name today. He kicks down the line looking for a target. Coming into the front spot there and taking the ball quite nicely and running away is Michael Philp. He's been well as well. Cut off by Thompson, Michael Thompson. Comes out now, Thompson gets a return, he gets the ball forward. Can they get a mark this time? But once again, it's cut off by Scotty Rowland. He's the marshal of that defence back there. But Basin, it's been so scrappy in this start of this quarter, but it falls for the Basin, and they've got an opportunity here. This is Keane, and Keane kicks towards goal, but it's going to be marked almost right on the line and taken by Campbell Crom, who runs back, and once again, Park Orchards can bring it out of defence. Good little period for the Basin, but they can't convert as Park Orchards bring the ball into the centre of the ground. The kick down to Fair. Fair now falls for Fisher. Sorry, it was Philp actually, as the ball goes to ground. And now the Basin once again have possession. That's number 77. It's Hutchinson Drake. Haven't called his name too many times today as the ball comes down over the top. Good little hand pass, finds Prosniak. Prosniak giving it to the big man Folks. He's been very good on the ruck today. And there's that man once again, Handley. He's been terrific, Handley.
That was a magnificent kick from Folks. That was a 45 metre kick that only went a metre and a half off the ground, and has hit him lace out as he was running to the tight pocket. So that was a beautiful kick, and there's the difference. I think their kicking level is just that little bit greater at the moment, Park Orchards, than what the Basin's is. Hutchinson Drake missed kick the one through the middle, and you can't afford to do that on this ground.
So Hanley looking for his 4th today. He'll kick from just inside 50, meets it pretty well, going across the face. What does the umpire say? No, it's missed to the far side, so behind. And the first score of the third quarter, it's the Sharks 10-6-66, leading the Basin 4-26.
Must be just that end where Hanley pulls his kicks to the left, because he beautiful straight kick in the second term. Basin do kick it out of the defence, but this one's too wide, and it's going to be a turnover to Gillings, just forward of centre wing. Pavilion side, he just pretty much puts it in the breadbasket of Cripps, and Cripps kicks it as long as he can to half forward. Batty pushes out, and he takes a good mark in the back of his opponent. And he takes a mark 45 metres out. Has he got the kicking distance? Big shorts, big kick.
I think so. He proved in the last quarter that he was able to kick the ball a long way, so I don't think he'll have any problem with kicking the distance.
If his kicking distance equates to his shorts, he should be able to kick it out of the car park.
And Drew Batty from outside of the arc. He's a deliberate shot, puts it to the right post, drifting out. Still in the field of play, and a nice defensive mark taken there by Park Orchards, and they'll just hold up again through Roland.
He's got a very good set of hands for a young boy, this Roland.
Yeah,
it's a terrific player.
But his kick out goes towards Batty, who wins it down with some help, and that help was Thompson. Thompson nearly took the mark earlier, runs inside 50 with the kick, and he puts it to the left side for a minor score. Batty's just limping a bit there. That's a worry, because he's been one of the best for the Basin as they move on to 4-3-27, trailing by 39 points. The Sharks at 10-6-66, and I'm just looking at Batty at centre half forward. He's got a nasty limp there. They won't like that, will the Bears?
Wouldn't want to lose him as Park Orchards bring the ball out of defence. The long kick towards the centre of the ground. Knocked down, it's gone loose, and in fact it's fallen for the Park Orchards side as they bring it forward once again. That's a nice mark taken there too by Hanley. He's been good today as he was last week too, Hanley, as he gets the ball down, but it's out on the full. I put the mocker on him, I tell you.
I'll tell you what though, that is a set play that they've done 3 times now that Basin have got to be aware of. The long kick from Bayliss to the wing, and then the play on up through the offside. They've got to be awake. They're just not awake to it, the Basin. They've got to knock it back in and not allow that to occur. And I see now the big fella, Batty's coming off the ground.
It's a big loss for the Basin if Batty isn't to being able to continue, but it's Park Orchards that win the free kick, and it's Matty Williamson, who will put it onto his left boot and send it forward. It's a flat kick, but it's almost taken there as the mark, but it goes to ground, and the umpire says we will have a free kick by the looks. Free kick to the Basin. They bring it out of defence. Little chip kick into the centre of the ground, finds Pittman. Haven't called his name too many times today, but he gets it back. There's the ball. Errant handball, shocking handball. And it's been fumbled, and an opportunity for Park Orchards to turn this over just on the edge of the 50. But that was sloppy from the base, and they had a real opportunity there as we go boundary side with Ray Beard.
Batty, boys, he's come off. He just had a tap on the to him. He's just having a bit of a rest. He'll be back on.
Ray, can you go again, because we missed that?
I said that Batty just had a bit of a tap on the ankle, boys. The trainers aren't even attending him, and he'll be back on shortly.
Okay, it's at centre half back for the Basin, and working nicely was Chirkop, hands it off to a teammate. So from the back of the square, Watson gets it out wide, and Watson might be first one to there again, but the boundary will see it over at half forward for Park Orchards as they really struggle in transition to the Basin.
They do, and it's the fact that they just miss their targets. They're missing too many. I mean, that disposal, that turnover in the forward half of Park Orchards was just a terrible set of choices then from the Basin players.
So they're very good at that one back behind the pack, but the sweeper's not really executing the kicks.
No, and they're making poor choices as to the kicks that they're choosing.
So it's Chappell against Finley in the ruck as the ball comes in. Chappell gets the tap, and it falls for the Basin as once again they look to come forward, but they can't get clean ball. The ball bobbling out, and it's that man, number 50, who we had... I've completely forgotten who he is.
That's Price Inglis.
That's Price Inglis. That's the man that we didn't have his number at the start of the game, and it's out of bounds.
We're going to have to get you out of the habit of calling him Ingles, though.
Inglis.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sure he won't mind. That looked like a push, and in fact the umpire's going to play it. The push came from Finley into the back of Chappell as they went into the ruck contest, and it's a free kick to Park Orchards. So Chappell, looking around for some options, decides to kick long. Up they go. Oh, almost a mark taken, but it's falling for Park Orchards, and that should be a goal. In fact, it's a miss. That's a bad miss. Michael Philp from pretty much, not exactly point blank range, but from a very handy position as the ball came over the top, and he should have kicked that.
Especially as he did everything right. He roved the pack beautifully. And yeah, you don't miss him running in from 15 metres nearly directly in front. Well, you shouldn't anyway.
So he pulled his kick. Sean Carlos, very dangerous spearing pass. Put his teammate under pressure. He takes the hand pass off him, probably what he wanted to do by design. And now the kick goes to half-back. Playing around with it is Pittman. And he runs himself into trouble. Carlos is there to get the dinky kick. He's close to the boundary line, getting hemmed in, nearly pushed out with the ball. And getting pushed out with the ball was rule. And that is pretty poor in regards to getting a man on their own.
Well, that's two very poor choices from Pittman so far. He's got the ball and he's gone and turned into full circle instead of crossing the ground. And, yeah, two poor turnovers.
So it's still within area for Park Orchards. And Osborne, a very fierce tackle, takes his opponent to ground. It'll be a ball up again on the arc. Forward line for Park Orchards. Finlay gets in front, rucking position, gets it to the ground underneath his own feet. He spoons the ball up, not a throw, it's a hand pass. Quick kick out of defence. This might work for Kruger on the run. He has to dodge. He's like a dodgem car, bouncing off people. And now he's finally got it into the open to a runner in Seagrave, who puts it inside the forward 50. Who's going to win the ball as two from each team go up for it. Flying kick out of it from Bell. And he's just missed it to the right as the Bear supporters cheered it and tried to confuse the umpire, but Bell's flying effort missed just to the right. So the Basin 4-4-28 looks so much better when they move it quickly. Sharks 10-7-67.
Again, they just didn't use the ball as well as what they could have when they were coming through the middle then.
So Park Orchards kick it long, and they've got possession of the ball. It's Philp. He's had a terrific game. Michael Philp, he runs around looking for someone to kick to. Goes back in the middle of the ground, and they take it through the corridor. Good movement from Park Orchards. Wiggins sends it forward, and the mark is taken. I think it's Folkes. Yes, it is. Folkes just on the edge of the 50. It might be a bit far out for him to take the shot for goal.
I don't think so.
He has nailed that. Unbelievable. Michael Folkes, he looks like he was almost a bit hesitant there as he just wheeled around. Looks like he was looking for someone to kick to, but he's kicked it into the, he's kicked it into the bushes almost down the far end of the ground. That's a magnificent kick. 11-7-73, Park Orchards, the Sharks, and the Basin 4-4-28 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And there's the difference between the two sides at the moment. You've got one side who's willing to use the ball well, they distribute nicely, got a target that's leading up, good hands, and then that was just a lovely kick. So a great bit of football. That was nearly coast to coast.
And for Choose-Tap, Grant Campbell.
Marks inside 50 for the match now, 12-3 in favour of Park Orchards.
So the Basin go back through the centre now, and Cripps gets it to the running Cripps. So the brothers combine. Cameron got it to Lockie, and the kick didn't hit the target, and the tackle awarded in defence. Nicely done by Gillings.
Again, there's the difference of moving the ball into forward line, missed an easy target.
There's a turnover kick. Gillings just finds an opponent from 55. Long kick, but who's he kicking to? Didn't look, and the defenders are there to even drop it over the line. Roland and says to Gillings, next time you'll hit the target, he'll give it to the skipper. Gillings doesn't want it again, gives it to Bayliss to kick it out. And even when the Basin get a turnover, they don't know who to find.
They just look undecided, don't they, the Basin, as they kick the ball along Park Orchards into the centre of the ground. They win the ball there out of the middle. And a good strong contest in there by Lockie Cripps. He's been pretty solid today. And in the end, it's in the arms of...
That's the first time they've had the punch back from that kick in from Baylor, so they've learned from it, which is a good thing.
Fell into the arms of Kruger, it was. As the ball goes in there, is that man Kruger again. He gets it out of the hard contested area, and the Basin, they've got an opportunity out on the far side. The left foot kick coming infield. Can they hit a target? Up they go. Great spoil from the captain. That was Bayliss. He got the spoil away, and it's bobbling around back. In fact, good tackle coming in there too from the Basin. They've kept it locked inside the 50. Appealing for, I think, a holding the ball situation there, but not given by the umpire. Shocking hand pass, just went astray. They seem to be in control of it, Park Orchards, but just an errant hand pass put them under enormous pressure. So the ball is in. It's fallen for Roland. Roland in there looking for it as it comes out. Big number 29 in there. That's Minogue, Justin Minogue. He gets it out. Now here's the skipper running away with the ball, Bayliss. Bayliss as they try and transfer it. Long kick downfield. It's going to come back to the Basin. Will have possession, and they'll have it through Nicholas Cullinan as he kicks the ball forward once again. Is looking for an option. That's a great mark. Terrific grab taken by Lockie Cripps. Now an opportunity, but it's broken down again for the Basin. They look likely there for a moment, but they've turned it over.
And there's the tale of the two sides. Had the football, went inside, missed the target, and lost all the momentum that they could have had.
So, in the ruck contest, up they go. The tap comes down. And a kick forward looking for a target. It's Folks in the front spot. He doesn't quite get hands to the ball. He got a tap down though, and it's the Basin who have control of the ball, and they'll work it out, but it might come back. No, it gets hacked away downfield. Can someone now? Here's an opportunity for the Basin. They knock it over the top. It's going to fall for Bell. No, in fact, it's Symes on the far side. He gets the kick infield. Beautiful taken, fantastic mark taken there by Lachlan Kruger. He wheels around onto the right foot. He kicks forward. Can someone get on the end of it? Very nearly his brother Max. But it's been turned over, and Park Orchards will bring it away downfield. The kick forward, and it's going to bounce away, and there's not too much happening over there. But a nice tap on there, and Park Orchards have the overlap. Here's a big opportunity for Matthew Williamson as he can find a target. They'll be on here. The kick comes in, but front spot, good defence, and it's fallen. And the goal. And the goal it is. It's Hickey. He roved off the front spot. There didn't look to be too much on there. The kick came in, it was spoiled, but the front and centre from Hickey as it came in, we're just watching the replay, and the Basin managed to get it, but it fell beautifully done, and it was Hickey who got onto it and the right foot kicked through, and that's a terrific goal from Park Orchards there. 12th of the day, it is 12-7-79, leading the Basin 4-5-29.
And again, it comes down to system. The way they were able to bring the ball down, they put it into the right area, hit the right target, and a beautiful feed off.
And Price Inglis was aware of his teammate, and a nice tap on. Let's go boundary side right there.
Yeah, Batty's back on the field, boys.
But he's not in the ruck. Oh, there you go. Nicely done. He's got his hands covering his shorts. Couldn't see him. He's now come to ruck. Folks did nicely, but roving it was Adams. Adams gets it forward to Cripps. So Cripps takes the mark at centre forward. Cameron Cripps for the Basin.
This is where they're falling down. It's this next kick.
Has he got the journey? 50 metres plus it would have to be for the kick. Or have they got a hotspot design for his brother who's in the goal square? So will Lachlan Cripps be able to go for the fly? He got the journey, but he pulled it in attempting to get the distance. So it's another minor score for the Basin, 4-6-30, a 49-point margin. The Sharks at 12-7-79.
Had the journey easily, didn't he? But just pulling it, as you say, Gav, going for that extra distance, Folks, with the ball. And he will bring it out once again. The long kick. It's going to come down somewhere towards the middle of the ground. The tap, I think that was, yes, it was Folks in there winning the ball out of the middle. And the umpire says we'll have a free kick. Might have been a high tackle, I think.
No, he's
just
got it for the
drag
sling.
down. Yeah, sling.
Oh, it's a yellow card.
Yeah, he slung. Yeah, it was a sling.
Sling tackle.
Sling tackle.
When you've got the player cold, it's unnecessary, and that's what the players are telling him.
Undisciplined, isn't it? And that's a yellow card for Folks.
Yep.
And so he'll be spending some time off the ground.
Does he get 25 automatic for that as well, the Basin player?
You'd think so, but he hasn't paid it yet, but he might.
They'll miss Folks while he's off the ground too. He's been pretty good on the ruck today. So the ball sent forward once again into the inside 50. Bobbling around, but the Park Orchards defence is resolute. They get it out only as far as another Basin player who will wheel around, and he will send it back inside 50. A Basin goal here would be of some use to keeping this game alive. Current margin up to about 49 points. Let's watch it. It's from outside 50, 55-metre kick. I tell you what, it's a fair effort, but it's touched right on the line.
He's going to get it.
He's going to give it.
Oh, it's a disputed call, though, from here.
Looked like it was touched, didn't it, from as we watched the replay. Let's go boundary side with Ray Baird.
That was Michael Thompson, boys. You kicked that one.
Well, look, I know he's kicked the goal, but, you know, at the moment, all they're doing is they're getting the ball outside 50 and just trying to kick goals from outside 50, and it's because they haven't got a system to bring the ball into deep into their forward line. So,
Ray Baird, more from the boundary.
Forward, there's too many Basin players in that 50-metre arc. They need to clear it out and get some of their players one-on-one.
Rucks go at it, middle of Domini Reserve. Debney, for the first time, I think, has gone into the centre. Did win the tap. Good body position on his opponent. Batty looks a bit limp now in terms of jumping in the ruck contest. We'll see how he goes on this one, because it went 5 metres forward and another ball up is going to happen. So Debney will try to, he doesn't have to jump over. Batty uses good position, taps it towards a teammate in Cripps, who runs onto it. Quick handball, Cripps gets it back, but he's always falling to ground, and as he fell, he got tackled over the shoulder, so he's pretty lucky. But it wasn't a deliberate shrug off, so the umpire will give him a free kick at half back. Cripps, Cameron Cripps, looks for options. Coming in late was Brown, couldn't make the contest, but at ground level, it's a fight for the ball, and the umpire will have to come in again, ball it up. So the marks would be probably a great stat to be keeping. I reckon Park Orchards would be so well outnumbering the Basin, and it's a quick play on from a free kick in the middle of the ground. It's Prozenak who's on the leading option, puts it a little too high, but at ground level again, it's nicely roved, this time by Philp. Philp hands it off to a rover, and then the bouncing ball just misses. Prozenak got deep into the forward line after getting it in there, and he just misses the right side for a minor score.
And that's the difference, isn't it? That quick transition, opening it up, it's one-on-one football, they get it, they rove, and they have a shot. So just completely two different styles between the two teams.
21 minutes gone, third term, 12-8-80. Park Orchards lead the Basin 5-6-36.
Speaking of stats, so let's go to the two-step match stats. Here's Greg Campbell.
Inside 50s is scored a 13-8 in favour of the Basin. Clearances 11-6 and also in favour of the Basin.
So Basin getting themselves back into the game, and the stats at least, if not on the scoreboard. And we'll have a ball up inside 50. There it goes. It's the tap. It comes nicely up from Seagrave, who got the tap away, and it's an opportunity for the Basin as they work it down the line from Lockie Cripps. Falling now. Oh, it might have been a high tackle there, I think. Yeah, the umpire says it was, or in the back perhaps. And it's another free kick to the Basin. Getting some momentum off these free kicks as Joshua Adams picks the ball up and he decides to knock it down the middle of the ground. Good solid mark taken there by Cripps. It's Cameron Cripps. He wheels around, partly obstructed as he gets the kick away. A little period this for the Basin. Michael Thompson, he gets his kick for. Who's at home for him? Too many Park Orchards players back there, but it's been socked off the ground. That is a miraculous goal. Just trying to see who it was in the end.
I reckon it's Cripps. We'll wait till he turns around.
Ought to be nothing on there as the ball came over the back. Park Orchards, there were two defenders there, and sock it off the ground. It is one of the Cripps boys.
Ray Baird will tell us.
Let's go boundary with Ray Baird.
Number 44, Aaron Seagrave, boys.
So Seagrave, opportunist goal.
Well, that will be something that they'll talk to young Roland about. When you're having that situation, you don't knock the ball back into the opposition goal square. You've got to take the mark in that situation.
Batty won the tap, forward it goes, and roving it was Thompson getting in the contest he is in the third term. At centre half forward, the ball falls off the pack and kicked forward by Bell. It's a bouncing ball in the forward pocket, and eventually it's punched over the line, and Park Orchards are going to just concede the throw in deep in the Basin's forward 50.
It's no coincidence that the Basin have started to get back into the game since Folks has gone off the ground and out of the ruck, because they're dominating the ruck contest at the moment, the Basin.
Yeah, so Adams is now getting marked by Prozenak very closely as he's won a lot of ball around the stoppages. This time it's the number 11 for Park Orchards, Fisher, who's been gang tackled and kept still 40 metres away from his own goal. So the Basin, they're getting in tough. 38 points. It's a big margin, but they're working themselves in the game. If they can create some momentum, you never know in football. The kick goes forward into the right pocket this time. The defence under a heap of pressure, and again wrapped up in a tackle. The Basin are good at keeping in the area. This time Michael Thompson was the tackler. And Gillings hands the ball over to the umpire. Goes back to the goal square with Brown. Tap won by Chernkop in terms of roving it. His kick was smothered. Another kick didn't really get any distance. So it's now picked up by Thompson. High up and under. He actually gets the distance. Probably didn't want to get it all the way because he missed it out to the right for a minor score. 6-7-43 to the Sharks. 12-8. 80, and it's a 37-point margin.
So the Park Orchards bring it out from the back. We've played 24 minutes in this quarter, so we may be getting fairly close to three-quarter time. They go down the line, Park Orchards. The big men are there, but it's wove nicely. Oh, that's a good bit of work there at the front by Osborne. Osborne gets it for another opportunity, and it's back there. Good solid mark taken by Fisher. Ben Fisher and Park Orchards will resist. The ball comes out, almost a mark taken, but it's rove nicely off the back by Witness. He's been pretty good today, Jay Witness, and he gets it forward. And a good solid mark taken there as well. They've transitioned the ball so well today, Park Orchards, and once again they do it well.
That's because they just do it quickly. They get it and they go quickly. They don't stand and wait and allow the defence to set up. They just get it and put it into that area, and there's always been a player from Park Orchards in front. So I think they've probably, I'm not sure we'll hear how many marks inside 50 they've had, but they've certainly had a number.
So it's going to be Handley who's going to take this kick. He's a fair way up, Nicholas Handley, but you might give him a chance from here. He's been pretty good today.
No.
He's pretty
He'll
decent kick.
hook it to the left, you reckon?
Yeah, it's guaranteed.
He has done that down this end for most of the game, but I'm going to back him, and here he comes. He hits it pretty well, and it's just going at the
Guess
left.
what he did? Missed it to the left.
Oh, dear.
Marks inside 50 for the match, 13-2 in favour of Park Orchards this quarter, 3-0, which is pretty telling given the Basin have had 15 forward 50 entries, but they haven't been able to take a mark inside 50.
Well, I give him some credit. He didn't really hook it as badly as
No,
before.
not as bad as before.
And it is the Basin. They can't get a pass to hit a target, but there's enough numbers. But this time it's turned over as the kick to half-back wasn't directed. Must have been touched off the boot to the surprise of Minogue, and Minogue's been wrapped up.
No, he took the mark and took 3 steps forward.
Okay,
and
got
called for a play on.
So it's a holding the ball decision against Minogue. So the Basin lucky there that Minogue played on too quickly. Coming over the top, if spoil becomes a mark, and that was beautifully done by Finlay, who just puts it on the boot as long as he can. Punch on might be too smart, but doesn't get to rule for the Basin, and the numbers get back for the Sharks, and one of them, of course, is the coach in Bayliss, who doesn't kick it as long as he does because he's got a short on. Now they're off and racing on the wing. One hand pass now gets to another. Price Inglis, he gets a kick around the corner. He kicks it, one-on-one contest. Nice body work, nice mark on the chest in the end by Philp, who had a one-on-one, just bumped his player about 5 metres before the ball, and then he had an easy mark to take.
We talk about contrasting styles. Basin moved the ball down into the forward line but couldn't hit a target. Park Orchards came up, put it in exactly the same spot as they've put it all day. Leading forward takes a mark.
So it's a 38-point margin as Philp kicks from 50, and he kicks it strong and long, and it's a goal. 13-9, 87 are the Sharks. Park Orchards lead the Basin to a 6-7-43, double the score, and Philp gets his third on the board. As we cross down before special comments to boundary side with Ray Baird.
Yeah, as that ball was coming into the Basin goal square there, the play of Bayliss. Now, Bayliss could have gone to the contest, but he already had 2 Sharks players at the contest. He just set off the contest, and the ball come out so easily for him to clear it out of the defence.
So back in the middle, we must be getting close to three-quarter time as the ball goes up. The tap, it's won by the Basin, and here's an opportunity for him to grab a late goal. Going into three-quarter time just to get some momentum, but it doesn't happen because Williamson is there, and he cuts it off. Well, Matthew Williamson, he's been rock solid at the back. All dangerous kick coming in. The skipper couldn't get his hands on it, and there's an opportunity again for the Basin, but so often as we see, they turn it over just when the opportunity is there, and going back for the ball is Campbell Crom. Shifts it out to the flank. Now it comes back inside. There's the skipper again, taking the ground. Don't know if he had the ball, though, Bayliss. And it's a free kick. He was definitely tackled without the ball.
They're a bit lucky then, Park Orchards, because they stuffed around with the football. It was a poor inside target from young Williamson. Kicked it far too high.
So Baylor sends it down the line, looking for some big tall timber down there, but it's come for the Basin as they switch it into the middle of the ground. But it's going to be cut off. That's a shocking kick, and Debney cuts it off. He's been pretty good today, Will Debney, as he sends it across field. And a nice mark taken there by Witness. Witness, O'Shea, kicked the last goal as the ball comes inside. Bobbling around, but the Basin are back there, and they'll cut it off deep in the